Good morning. Yeah, I catch a lot of flack from people because I refuse to use racism in my arguments. I don't have to use it. Simple first grade math will win this argument. Will put Americans back to work in America. If we would just man up and woman up and cowboy up and giddy up and whatever else up there is and use it. As an example, let's pull this over so you can see it. These green bars are the amount of jobs we create each year. 1.5 million jobs. If you go back and you take the most recent total non-farm payroll data and subtract the oldest, which was back in 1939, and divide it by the number of years, which I think is 86 right now, you'll get 1.5 million jobs per year. That's how many jobs we create. That's how many jobs we have available. I don't think a lot of people understand this. They seem to think that jobs are infinite. No, folks, when you run out of jobs, you run out of jobs, which means people go without jobs. So we got 1.5 million jobs per year that we create. Now I want you to think on that for a second or two while we do the housekeeping. So we got 1.5 million jobs we've created. Now, who needs those jobs? Well, old farts like me that want to work again, we need them. What about our high school graduates? You see this? We haven't talked any kind of racism. We haven't talked about guest workers. We haven't talked about anything. Already we can see that we created 1.5 million jobs per year. But goddamn, we got 3,705,540 high school graduates needing jobs in 2024 alone. As you can see, we don't have enough jobs for them. You people out there whining and moaning and groaning about the kids don't want to work and all they do is lay around on the couch. God damn it, get off your butt and create an environment where there's enough jobs for them to find work. How are they going to find jobs when it's obviously we got twice as much or more high school graduates needing jobs than we created jobs for? It don't matter. It don't add up, folks. The math don't compute. And we have them talked about non-immigrant guest workers. We could defeat the H-1B scam and everything else just using these two arguments alone. But you won't find any of the organizations that say they're fighting for our future, that are taking your tax-paying money as donations, that will use either of these two calculations. Why is that? If they beat this, does that mean they no longer have a job and no longer have a reason for existing? I don't get it. Why is our media? We got people fighting in the media that are talking about the H-1B scam, but they won't use these calculations. Why is that? These two calculations alone show that it won't work no matter what you do. Let's turn the high school graduates off. Let's assume that we have no high school graduates. Oh, and one thing I got to go into before I go on, people always say, yeah, but something like 4 million people retire a year. First of all, I doubt that they are retiring. I imagine most of them are like me, where they're getting forced into trying to survive because they can't find a job or anything else. But let's just assume they do retire. A new job is not created when a person retires. somebody is assigned to take on those duties within the company already, or they may go out and hire somebody else to take the place of the person that retired. Either way, a new job was not created. If a person is the manager of a technology department, say at Apple Computer, and he retires, what happens to the old job? It doesn't get destroyed. Does a new job get created? Hell no. A person is assigned, selected to take that position. There is no new job created. So quit trying to tell me that when a person retires, we're creating new jobs. We're not. Let's go look at those visas now. Everybody's fighting the H-1B visa scam. Numbers are up there. They've been growing. But we got plenty of jobs left for them if we didn't have high school graduates. What's funny is when you add an H-2A, nobody seems to want to fight that. But look at them. There's just as much or more H-2A visas being issued than there are H-1B. So why are you fighting over the H-1B? Excuse me. It doesn't make any sense. How about the H-2B? Oh, not that many. Mainly the H-2A is the ones that are getting the jobs. A lot of people tell you can't use it. The L1 visas. Been a lot of examples here lately, though, of it being used. But even then, the numbers are small compared to the rest. How about those O1 visas for exceptional talent? See how small they are? Why are you bitching to me about the O1 visa when it's the least of our problems? Let's focus on the most of our problems. E3 visa. Supposed to create jobs. I don't see hardly anything there. How about those visas coming from Canada, TN visa? Very tiny numbers. The religious visas for preachers, ones that where preachers are actually getting selected on H-1B, if you look at the data, not much there either. J1. Oh, that's pretty good numbers there. Most of you don't even know what a J1 visa is. How about the F1? Uh-oh. Now all of a sudden, with a combination of everything, we've exceeded the amount of jobs we've created. And we haven't even done the H4 visas yet. H4, for many of you who don't know, is a spouse. So look there. Now all of a sudden, we are we are importing more non-immigrant guest workers than we're creating jobs for. And we still have our high school graduates to take care of. Do you understand what's going on? Have any of you done the math? If not, you need to get off your butt and do the math. For those wanting to contact me, here's how you do it.